Hey Gemini, what's up gang? I hope everybody is well. We're gonna go ahead and do just a general, whatever wants to come out type of reading. So if that interests you, stick around. Gemini, if you are new to this channel, welcome. My name is Jessica. Please take a look at my description box. That will have any information that you need to know. And yeah, this is a Gemini channel. However, if you vibe, you tribe. So go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Gemini, if you're returning, welcome back. I hope that you're well. Hope you're taking care of yourself. I do hope that your doing was best for you, boo. Thank you for all the love, all the support. Gemini, thank you for all the good vibes. It really does mean the world, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get into this because this is just a general whatever the freak wants to come out type of reading, all right? So let's see what we got here. You know what? I didn't even do an intuitive message. I'm so underprepared. Let's just do one on camera. We have the chakras. So Gemini, you could be working on balancing yourself right now. That could be a very high priority. Balancing yourself, raising your vibration here. Maybe you're trying to delve more into a spiritual routine or spiritual practices here, which would be highly suggested, especially if you're going through an ascension or you're having a lot of downloads that are coming through. Maybe you're going through the next level, right? And I feel like Spirit does want you to try to maintain some kind of balance. Also, maybe try to connect to your spirit guides more or your ancestors more. If you already do connect with them all the time, okay, then maybe that message isn't for you. But for some of you guys, there's a need to kind of connect more with them. They want you to talk to them as if you would talk to anybody else, okay? Tell them about your worries, your fears, your wishes that you have for your future. You know, it's almost like they're your confidants and you can really depend on them or lean on them, okay? Especially if you feel like you're a little alone and there's not a lot of people that get it or see where you're at or what you're going through. Your spirit team does, okay? So that's what they are here for, is to give you unending support, all right? I do also get the energy here of maybe trying to take up some kind of new healthier lifestyle practices, maybe working out more, eating better, breath work, maybe trying to work on meditation here, clearing the mind, mindful thinking, okay? Journaling perhaps for some of you guys, mirror work, candle work. I'm getting a whole bunch of things, okay? But maybe, I don't know, I'm getting acupuncture. Maybe you're gonna go to an acupuncturist, if that's how you pronounce that. Maybe you're going to a chiropractor or a massage therapist. There's something here about getting some kind of knots out of your body or releasing the stress or the tension that you've been feeling in your body. Because the next level for you, Gemini, is going to be big. There are a lot of unexpected changes. There's a lot of motion and movement and, you know, leveling up that's going to be happening here moving forward. And I feel very strongly that Spirit wants you to be ready for that emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. We need you at your strongest is what Spirit is saying, okay? Some of you guys could have been hit really hard recently, whether it's been financial, emotional, maybe spiritual. Maybe you've been going through a dark night of the soul. Maybe you feel like you've been under some kind of spiritual attack recently. You know, which of course, when we're on the precipice of a level up or of significant change, you know, following in our destined path here, yes, the darkness is always going to try and come in and stomp us out. So some of you guys might have felt like there's been some kind of spiritual attack, or maybe you have bird bitches around you that are sending you heebie-jeebie from a distance. I don't know. Okay, but it does feel like there's a need to kind of recalibrate your energy here, do a cleansing, maybe be with yourself, be with your own thoughts for a little bit and allow yourself to realign, okay? All right, Gemini, well, let's go ahead and see what we got here. We're just gonna pull some from the aesthetic, and then of course we're gonna clarify and get additional messages at the end as usual. So the general reading for Gemini, please. We have the ancestors that came out with blooming. Okay, yeah, told you, your spirit team is here for you and they want to show you how well that you're doing. They want to encourage you. I don't feel like you get a lot of human support, guys. There's almost this feeling of like, I don't feel like, I don't know, maybe some of you guys do get treated like garbage by people around you, but I feel like for the most part it's not. It's just neither here nor there, right? People are people. But I feel like there's this energy of not really getting a lot of appreciation or recognition from humans around you for whatever reason. People are busy with their own lives. They don't want to give you your flowers, whatever it is. But I feel like your ancestors are coming through to give you your flowers in this reading. They want you to know how special you are, Gemini, how important you are, how the work that you do or whatever you've come here to do is very much needed. Sometimes we can get very lost in the sauce and we can forget the impact, or not even recognize the impact that we make on a daily basis. Even if you're not up here like me doing spiritual work or giving messages, it's like you just going out in your everyday community and making people smile and showing up for people. It helps, it makes a difference. But it's like we need to feel that come back to us, right? We need somebody to go above and beyond in our life. We need somebody to tell us that we're doing a good job, or that we're important, or we're special, or we're needed, right? And maybe you don't really get that as often as you should. So that's another reason why your ancestors want to connect with you, and they want you to allow them to give you the recognition that you deserve. I do feel like there is some kind of spiritual recognition that's coming through here. You could be being given some kind of spiritual flowers from the divine, maybe a crown perhaps. There could be a lot of blessings, or even good karma that's coming through. I'm hearing brownie points. Okay, so some of you guys have brownie points when it comes to the divine. You just went above and beyond, and so you have a lot of like interest racked up, let's just say that. Okay, but it is giving me the energy here of your spirit team wanting to come through to let you know that you are on the precipice of this level up, this change, this growth. You are in the stage of blooming, and it can be a little uncomfortable. It's like when the butterfly is emerging from the cocoon. It's a beautiful process. It's a beautiful transformation. It shows so much growth, so much strength, so much endurance, so much change and trust that has happened. But it's actually like running the gauntlet here, right? It's like the end of the race where you're so tired, you're beat down, you just want to be done, but you still have to push and get yourself through. Because anybody who knows, the butterfly coming out of the chrysalis is not actually an easy experience. It has to struggle, and it has to fight, and it has to prove that its wings are strong enough to actually carry it. So even after all that transformation and growth and change that the butterfly went through, it still has to continue forward, right? It still has another test, if that's what you want to call it, to pass, the test of its own strength and endurance. So I feel like that could be what you're going through right now. They're showing me in my mind's eye like a rose that's in like the little, bud form, and then it's blooming open. And I feel like there's something here about this bud form that it's uncomfortable. I mean, if you've ever like taken a rose that is still in that bud energy and like tried to press on it, it's super hard, dense. All the layers are kind of smushed together. There's not enough room to like breathe or to expand, right? It's something that has to happen naturally too, because if you try to just open up the rosebud, you're going to basically damage the flower. It needs to open up within its own time, Gemini. So I feel like some of you guys have been learning patience. You've been learning how to be present within your moment that you're in right now, not letting the anxieties of the future and what could be take over you, and also not getting stuck in the past and what was, right? But allowing yourself to be in the here and the now and enjoy this moment fully, okay? So let's see what else we have. Oh, on the bottom of the deck, we got the eclipse. Yeah, there's things that are getting eclipsed in. There's things that are getting eclipsed out. There's a lot of transformation and change. They're showing me in my mind's eye, a house that's being redecorated, and there's couches coming in and couches going out, and there's shelving that's getting put up, and there's new curtains that are getting hung, and it's like it's a kind of a mess, right? When we're in this transformation phase of rearranging, redecorating, and having this rebirth, this renewal that's about to take place. But once everything is done, it's going to be like ooh and ah and wow, this place is transformed, it looks beautiful. I feel like that's what's happening to you. You're being transformed right now. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Oh, okay, we have the hourglass. So something is going to be happening in divine timing here. You will have all the answers in time, is what Spirit is saying. You will gain the clarity that you need, and the truth could also be coming out about a situation, where you're at, how you feel. It's like ultimate clarity is going to come, but it's going to come in its own time. You're not going to be able to force whatever this is, which is why I feel like your ancestors are really wanting you to stay present in the moment. Ground yourself in the moment that you're in right now, okay? Because if we try to rush this process, we're going to end up tripping all over ourselves, or we're going to miss the mark, because timing is very important for somebody here. For whatever reason, timing is extremely important. With that sun energy, you could be feeling a lot of like, you know, the pressure here to change or to grow or to transform. Some of you could definitely be feeling like the spiritual spotlight is on you. Some of you guys might be feeling the pressure to purge or release things that are no longer serving you. You know, these old mindsets, concepts, relationships, patterns, situations, habits, they don't belong where you're going. And if some of you guys have been on this ascension process, but you've been holding on to things, you know, out of nostalgia, out of fear, out of a comfort zone, it's like you might have noticed that you're kind of getting pulled, right? But you're not able to be released to the ascension, if that makes any sense. And that's because, again, these things are weighing you down. They can't come where you're going. So you're trying to rise to the next level, but you have an anchor attached to you, Gemini. So you need to release whatever this is. Let's get one more here for this gentle message for Gemini gang. Okay, we have do 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 do. I'm drowning. Okay, bitch, I'm drowning. Right? Bitch, I'm drowning. Spirit's like, well, I prefer to call it growing, right? I feel like that's the energy here. You know, growth can be very uncomfortable. It can be uncomfortable. It can even be painful. That's why we have that saying, growing pains, you know? Remember back in the day when you were younger and like you'd get like, you know, cramps in your legs or in your arms or whatever, and your parents would be like, oh, that's your growing pains, you're growing, you know? And it's like, okay, well, why does it hurt? Because sometimes change is painful. Change is uncomfortable, right? I mean, look back to what we were just talking about with the butterfly. It literally turns from one being physically to another being physically. That can't be an easy process for the caterpillar. Its own acids and insides eats itself. You know, it turns into a bubbly, gooky mess, and then somehow, by the grace of spirit and magic, I guess, I don't know, it just like regenerates itself and turns into a completely new being. It grows wings. It's magical, but also terrifying and painful for the actual caterpillar. For us on the outside, looking at this transformation, we know. And I feel like we would be like spirit and our spirit team in the aspect of the caterpillar, right? So how spirit and our spirit team looks at us while we're going through this uncomfortable change, like, the beautiful process has begun, right? Gemini is turning into a beautiful butterfly. You know, look at them prepping, look at them following their intuition, not really knowing why they're making certain moves or why they're doing this, why they're acting a certain way. And look at them isolating themselves and seeking a deeper meaning and going into their cocoon. Isn't it beautiful? And look at the dark night of the soul, where they're literally turning into a pile of goo. Isn't it amazing? Right? And look at them struggling to fight free from their cocoon that they put themselves in. Isn't this great? Right? And we're just like, what the fuck is happening? Everything is falling apart. My life sucks. I feel like, Gemini, you could be kind of breaking free from the cocoon right now, and it's really difficult. It's a difficult process. You are in bitch I'm drowning mode, or this is what you're coming out of, right? But it's growth, says Spirit. You're actually growing, you know? You struggling right now to break free is actually you proving to yourself that you're strong enough to actually fly. Okay, so that is what I'm getting from this, and this is going to happen. You know, this process is going to take place regardless. It doesn't matter if you try to speed it up. It doesn't matter if you try to slow it down. It doesn't matter if you try to avoid it completely. This is going to happen. It's destined. Okay, it's destined that you turn into the butterfly, Gemini. That's what you're doing here. That's what you're meant to do. All right, let me get some additional messages out here. What do I was gonna pull from that deck, but I'm just gonna pull from what I want to, which is the Everyday Witch Tarot. What do we have here for this blooming energy for Gemini gang, for this general message? This blooming we have the Queen of Cups. I'm hearing that song, Isn't She Lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Okay, that's what I'm hearing. I don't know. I haven't heard that song in a very long time, but that's what I'm hearing. I don't know who sings it. Yeah, Gemini, aren't you lovely though? Right? Aren't you? Some of you guys have a masculine energy on the other side that watches you, very proud of you. It's giving like grandfather or father, but maybe brother, maybe uncle, maybe a loved one that's passed on that is just a masculine energy. Y'all would know, but this is somebody who maybe was a little older but took on a protective energy for you. This person always had your back. This person always stuck up for you. Whether you're male or female, this could definitely be a masculine that's watching another masculine as well. But this person was like a protector. This was somebody who guided others, helped others. This is somebody who would like literally run into like a burning building to save people is the energy that they're giving me. Like, like for real, this was somebody who was a hero. Maybe they weren't a hero to everybody in the world, but they were definitely a hero to you. And this person is watching you and they're thinking about you like that. Like, aren't you beautiful? Aren't you lovely? Aren't you wonderful? Look at how you're blooming. Standing in your authenticity, being who you're meant to be, it's beautiful. Some of you guys are learning how to trust your intuition and follow it, like legitimately, even when it takes us to places that are scary. Because I feel like sometimes it's really easy for us to say, oh, I trust my intuition, until your intuition tells you to go down that dark, twisty, turny path that looks really scary, really uncertain, and you're leaving behind everything that you've known. That's when it's like it's a little bit harder to trust your intuition then. And I feel like there's something here where there's this energy of letting go of some stubbornness maybe that we've had with this Emperor energy, and allowing ourselves to be more flowy and allowing ourselves to receive the blessings and the change that wants to come into our life. It's like Spirit's trying to hand you something here. Now, on the 3D aspect, yes, there's definitely a masculine energy that's watching somebody and thinking, wow, isn't she lovely? Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she wonderful? Male or female, I'm just saying that because that's the song and we have a Queen of Cups. But yeah, somebody's admiring somebody for sure. Somebody could see you as very magnetic, that you're special, you do something different than everybody else, you are different, you're unique, you're one of a kind. They've never encountered anybody else like you. This intrigues them. They're the Emperor. Not saying they've been around town, but maybe they have. They've been here, they've been there. They're giving me that song from oh my god, I should know who this is because I love his music. Is it like Neil Olson or something like that? But the Searching for a Heart of Gold, where he's like, I've been to California, I've been to Redwood, I've crossed the ocean for a heart of gold. I feel like somebody feels that way about you, Gemini. Like somebody feels like they've been everywhere. They've been overseas, they've been north, they've been south, they've been west, they've been east, they've been in the middle, they've been everywhere, and they've never met anybody like you. You are unique, you are one of a kind. And that's what your ancestors like. That's what I've been saying. Like your ancestors been trying to tell you, like, Gemini, you're one of a kind, like you're amazing. Please see that about yourself if you don't already. Thank you. But yeah, this person might want to look, Two of Cups behind that Emperor. I knew it. I could feel it. Somebody has a lot of love for you, whether it's on the other side or this side or wherever. Somebody has a lot of love for you. Now, are they going to express this love and come forward and make the gesture? I have no idea, but they do feel a lot of love for you, and they enjoy watching you. They enjoy watching you in your blooming state. They enjoy watching you turn into your full potential here and gain wings and fly, and you're carrying Spirit's baby, and some of you guys are out here doing amazing things, and they just like that. They like seeing what you're doing. You could be very isolated or connected to Spirit. You could live a different way than people do around you. You've caught somebody's eye, though. Somebody finds you to be very attractive. Yeah. Ooh, my nose is itchy, boy. When I asked y'all why you think the nose itches, somebody had put in the comments because the nose knows. I actually think that might be bang on accurate. Sometimes it really is as simple as that. Excuse me, let me get a drink of coffee, recalibrate myself here. Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay, so We have the Six of Wands. Okay, so yeah, there's recognition, you know, there's accolades, there's people thinking that you are wonderful. Make sure you're one of them, right? Four of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Some of you guys have been building something. You've been working tirelessly at something, putting in all of your effort, you know, feeling like this is your path, this is your destiny. I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to believe in myself, you know, and I feel like you're going to see some kind of payoff because of that. There's going to be success that flies in, Gemini, okay? Look, there's the Emperor. I feel like somebody wants to give you your accolades as well. This could be a boss. This could be an authoritative figure. Somebody might want to tell you, hey, you're doing a good job. Or would you like to come work for me? Or I would like to do this collab with you. Or, you know, I have this new project. I think you'd be perfect for it. It does feel like there's going to be some kind of choice here in what way you move in the future, okay? What direction that you go in. Some of you could definitely have a invitation to travel here, whether this is work or pleasure or a little bit of both. Some of you guys could definitely be traveling here. Maybe you're traveling to a beachy area or a coastline area for some of you, or you're traveling from that area. Be careful swimming, okay? For sure. I feel like for some reason, Gemini, you haven't been feeling as great as other people are seeing you. You know, it's like from the outside looking in, you're amazing and you're doing the damn thing, you know, and people are probably like, I don't know how Gemini gets everything done that they do get done. They're a machine, right? They're unique, they're special, they're funny, they're personable, they're helpful, they're honest, they're attractive, they're this, they're that. It's like, I feel like people generally have a very good impression of you, but I feel like there's a lot of worries inside about, can you keep this up? Am I on the right path? I feel like you're going through something on a deep internal level that maybe a lot of people aren't able to see. You know, they're not able to recognize what you're going through. But you are blooming, Gemini. You're doing amazing things, and people do feel like you are amazing. Your spirit team also feels like you are amazing. And you caught some Emperor's eye. I don't know who this is, but somebody is definitely watching you. Okay? For real. All right, let's see what your ancestors are out here for this general message for Gemini gang. The ancestors. What are the ancestors out here for, Spirit? We have the Two of Swords. Well, they come out when you need help, right? I mean, yeah, your ancestors could always be around you, kind of guiding you, but I feel like the ancestors come out when it's like, we need the big guns, right? We need a lot of support right now. We need the professionals to show up. That's when your ancestors show up. I feel like this indecision that you might be feeling right now, they want to help you get out of your head, or they want to help guide you through whatever this is. So ask for signs, ask for messages from them, and they will give them to you. Especially if you watch a lot of like tarot or something like that. They work through technology sometimes. Like I've noticed that my guides, my ancestors, they'll work through technology. They'll recommend certain videos or whatever, and then it's like, that is exactly what I needed to hear, or that is exactly what I was struggling with, or this is exactly what I was wondering, you know? So pay attention to what things are coming through in your recommended here. If you do watch a lot of tarot or whatever, pay attention to the songs that are coming on the radio. Pay attention to the conversations. Oh, sorry, my nose is itching bad. I wish y'all knew, like I'm sure some of you guys who do psychic work, you know exactly what this feeling is. It is uncomfortable. It's like an itch that you can't itch. It's like under the skin. Anyways. Ugh. It's like the more that I itch it, the more it stuffs up my nose. Anyways, some of you guys pay attention to like the passing conversations that you're hearing too. Like if you're just, you know, doing your thing or whatever and people walk by you and they're having a conversation, they could be talking about something, but it's like exactly what you needed to hear, you know? So I feel like there's a lot of serendipitous type of messages that are coming through that way to bring you clarity here. Because you might be a little stuck. We saw this over here anyway. You're in this blooming phase. You're doing very well, Gemini, but you're not seeing yourself as doing very well. Some of you guys maybe feel like you're underachieving, right? You're not performing to what you expected or what you want for yourself. Your ancestors are saying that this indecision here and this, you know, lower level mindsets and, you know, negative thoughts that you're having here, being a little pessimistic, feeling a little stuck, this is not really helping you. You know, you're not stuck. Some of you guys just need to go for it too, is the energy that I'm getting with the Two of Swords. You know, she's blindfolded, all her senses are turned off, but she does have her intuition and she has her ancestors there to kind of guide her, and she hits the mark every time. So I feel like some of your ancestors might be wanting to tell you, you know, you don't even have to know where you're going to get where you're meant to be. Like, a lot of this is destined. A lot of this is going to play out regardless of what move you make or what choice you make, okay? So don't put so much pressure on yourself is kind of the message that I'm getting here. Your ancestors want you to lay off with the pressure, you know, with the self-loathing assessments, with the why, how, what, you know, just allow yourself to be is kind of what I'm getting here. Can we get another one for the ancestors? And why they're here for this general message? Yep, exactly. Some of you guys might feel like you've gotten yourself into a little bit of a box. It might be a very comfortable box here with this King of Pentacles. You know, it's flourishing, it's doing its thing, but it's making you feel a little complacent, or it's making you feel a little like, is there more? Can I expand myself? Is there room to grow here, basically, is what I'm getting. Or have I achieved everything? Have I peaked, basically? You know, I feel like there's some kind of change that could be being brought in here, or that you could be getting nudged in regards to, and it's really hard because you're feeling like maybe the odds are stacked against you, or you already have something very solid built up here. Either way, the Five of Swords, you know, that's my card of when you're tearing yourself to bits here. You know, you're really in your head about something, and you could also be fearing the worst from other people, feeling like people are talking about you, people are thinking about you in a negative way, people know what a ridiculous joke that you are, right? Like, some of you guys could really be going down that rabbit hole of negative energy. Sorry about my throat. And there's a need to kind of allow yourself to see the truth of a situation, Gemini. Give yourself more love. Talk to yourself the way that you would talk to a child. Most of us, people who aren't pieces of garbage, would talk to a child in a really gentle, kind way, right? We wouldn't sit here and berate the child and tell the child that it's worthless, it's stupid, it's fat, it's ugly, it's nothing. You know, it's gonna fail. I wouldn't even bother trying because it doesn't matter. It's not gonna work out anyway. Nothing ever does work out for me. It's like, talk to yourself the way that you would talk to your child, or a child if you don't have children. You know, imagine saying those bad things to yourself, and then imagine yourself when you were like, I don't know, 6 or 7. And imagine the look that would be on your face if you said those things to you. Because you're really talking to your inner child. You're talking to yourself when you speak this negativity onto your life or onto yourself. You know? Imagine like if you were you in child form in front of you, and you're like, you're stupid, you're ugly, you're a failure, you're never going to be anything. Like, it might even be making some of you guys upset now, because you're like, I would not want to do that. I would not want to talk to myself that way as a child. I wouldn't want to talk to any child or anybody that way. You know? So watch your thoughts, because your thoughts is basically your self-speak, right? It's how you're speaking to yourself. And we've all been there, guys. It can be really easy to just get into that, bitch, I'm drowning, that negative energy, but your ancestors want you to take yourself out of that. They want you to make every effort possible to be positive about who you are, Gemini, about what you're here to do, what you've achieved already, and what more you can achieve, okay? Can I get a message from the ancestors really quickly for Gemini? The Star. Okay, with Six of Swords, my throat's been a little croaky, but I'm going to try it. Sail away, okay? Yeah. Allow yourself to sail away from these negative thoughts, you know? Or if it's people that are invoking these negative thoughts, oh yes, walk away quickly. You are a healer, Gemini, or you have the ability to heal yourself, you know, and it comes from within. It comes from a higher source, of course, but it does come from within. Like, you have this ability that's been given to you by the divine. Some of you guys are, again, meant to shine. You're meant to gain recognition. You're meant to have some kind of glory here, you know? You're meant to have something that echoes what the spiritual realm feels about you, because I feel like you in the spirit realm, you do get some kind of accolades or some kind of respect or notoriety, right? Like, in the spirit realm, you're very significant. It's just, you know, translating that over to the physical. That's the issue, okay? Oh my God, I feel like I need to give my voice a break. But how do you give your voice a break when your work is to speak? How do you do that? Okay? I think I'm flicked water over there. Whew, I'm a mess. Okay, let's go ahead and continue forward. That's the message, though, that your ancestors will want you to know. Yeah. I mean, if that's not clear, I don't know what is. Walk away, sail away, let it go, right? Move on from what, you may ask? The sadness, the pain, the loss, the disappointment that maybe you've faced here. You have so much more to be grateful for, or you will have so much more to be grateful for. But yeah, that's what your ancestors want you to know. You're a star. You're meant to shine bright. What is this hourglass here for this general message for Gemini gang? What is this hourglass? We have the Queen of Swords and the King of Cups, Page of Cups. Well, Gemini, somebody could be on a timeout right now. You know, you could have put this person on a timeout. Spirit could have put this person on a timeout. Maybe they put themselves on a timeout. Maybe they didn't realize that's what they were doing, but that's exactly what they were doing. Somebody pulled a boundary here. You know? I feel like somebody is in their feelings about you with the King of Cups. I feel like somebody feels a lot of things towards you. There could be some regret. There could be some remorse. But for a lot of you, this is just love. It's affection. You know? It's feeling like kindred, feeling very connected to you, feeling like they want to come in and help you out, or they want to make life easier for you in some way. They don't want to make life harder for you. Maybe at one point they did, or maybe they see that about you. If this is somebody that you've never dealt with before, somebody could feel like, yeah, you know, Gemini has a lot going on, I can tell. You know, or they know something about you. Maybe they know you're a single parent and you run your own business, or you have a high pressure job, or you know, you take care of one of your family members, or you run some kind of animal sanctuary or something here. It's like somebody around you knows that you run a tight ship because you have to. Because if one thing, it's like a juggling act, right? If one ball gets out of place here, it's like everything's gonna fall. So you run a delicate juggling, balancing act here in your life. And I feel like somebody sees that. So when an energy comes in and disrupts you, it throws everything off track. If you're in your feels stressing because somebody is not acting the way that they were acting 2 days ago, or they're, you know, suddenly have ghosted you, or they're saying one thing and doing another, or they're flirting with people in front, it's like you need somebody solid like a rock, okay? That's what you need. You need somebody solid. And the only way that somebody is going to be able to be solid for you is if they're solid for themselves. If they know who they are inside, they know where they're going, they know what they want, right? Somebody is not going to be able to come in here and add to your life, add enrichment to your life, add growth and structure to your life if they can't even do that for themselves. If they're running around chasing their own tail because they don't know where they're going, you know? And maybe somebody is seeing that. Like, if I step to Gemini, I gotta come correct, okay? Because if I don't, I could throw them off balance, and they're not gonna allow that. I feel like somebody knows that you're not going to allow that. Don't come in here wasting my time. Don't come in here messing with my peace. Don't come in here rocking the boat, okay? Satisfy My Soul by Bob Marley and the Wailers. Excellent song. I suggest some of y'all listen to it. That's exactly what he's talking about in that song. Baby, please, don't you rock my boat, because I like it like that, right? I need you to satisfy my soul. And that's kind of the energy that I'm getting. You know, I feel like the Queen of Swords, she gets a bad rep in the tarot. as somebody who's cold and distant and, you know, very cutthroat and will cut people off like that. She just knows her worth. She knows what is needed. She knows that she should get what she gives. Because the Queen of Swords isn't out here playing games with people and being inconsistent and wasting their time and all of this. The Queen of Swords is exactly what she says she is. If she says she's going to show up at 9 o'clock, well, guess what? She's probably going to show up at 8:55. I'm going to be honest with you. But she will be there at 9. You know, not 9:30. Oh, I'm sorry I was late. Like, the Queen of Swords is a very dependable, reliable person because she's had to be. And that's what she needs in her life. I'm saying she because it's a queen. Take it as it resonates, guys, okay? So maybe somebody's seen that. Like, just coming in here and wooing the Queen of Swords isn't going to work. Just coming in here and whispering sweet nothings and kind of talking a big game but not actually putting any tangible action into it is not going to work. I have to be what I'm saying I am, or maybe I don't even need to come in here saying all kinds of stuff. Maybe I just need to come in there showing her this is who I am. I'm stable, and I'm showing you that I'm stable because I am stable, right? So I don't know. I feel like the Queen of Swords knows what they want, and they're not going to accept anything less. Nor would they want the person that they're with to accept anything less. Like, you know, like, I feel like the Queen of Swords has a standard, and she can live up to that standard, and she expects people to have a standard that she's with too. Like, I feel like the Queen of Swords expects her partner to hold her in check as well, and to be somebody who's like, they have a standard for their life. You know? We should have standards. We should just accept whatever. Because then that's when you settle, or then that's when you get disappointed or you get let down because you just settled for whatever. You know, you settle for people who are undependable or not reliable or insincere, and then it's like, well, that's what your relationship is built off of. No, that's not what I want my foundation to be. So I feel like somebody is maybe on timeout, or somebody feels like they need time before they can, you know, connect to the Queen of Swords. I don't know. I feel like somebody's a little nervous about connecting to this Queen of Swords here, okay? They're like, I like you when you're like this, you know, when you're in this, isn't she lovely, right? Well, the Queen of Swords is lovely too. Don't talk shit about my Queen of Swords, man. Okay, she's lovely too. She just, you know, again, has a very high standard. And I don't know if it's actually high. That's the thing. Like, wanting respect, wanting consistency, wanting communication, wanting honesty. Are these even high standards? Is that what we're calling those things nowadays? I don't know if that's actually a high standard. It's just that the Queen of Swords is somebody who's filled with a lot of integrity, you know? And I feel like in this world, a lot of people are used to just getting by on their looks, or, like, again, pretty words, right? Dreams, apple pie in the sky dreams. Gemini. Just on some side shit. If you've been single for a while, because of this very energy that I've mentioned, whether you're a male or a female, you have a standard. You know what you want. You know what you expect because you know what you're going to give. It's not like you're like the Queen of England over here, rest her soul, all right? And you're just going to expect people to serve you and give to you and do for you, and you don't even really got to show up for them. No, 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 no. You expect to show up for your partner. You expect to be that person too that they need. If you've been single because of this, this could be changing, honey. There could be somebody coming in from a distance. This could be a fire sign that might be coming towards you. I feel like this person sees you as somebody that they're like, yeah, I can live up to that. You know? I can fit the bill here. It's kind of the energy I'm getting. I feel like you guys have been very comfortable on your own, though. Very comfortable building your foundation. Very comfortable, like, you know, maybe connecting with yourself. Fully self-realized here, you know? Fully self-realized. And you don't take anything from anybody, okay? They're giving me that speech from Cool Runnings, right? You a bad mother that don't take nothing from nobody. That's the kind of energy that I'm getting. I don't know, guys. And it's becoming very clear too, like if you are out there dating, like you're not accepting certain things, you know? And it's like you know right off the bat what you want, what you don't want. You know, I had a dude tell me, and it was, you know, my attempt at trying to maybe be open and put myself out there and date. And I was like quickly like, nah, I think I'm okay, right? But I had a guy tell me, wow, you are amazing, you're perfect, you're everything that I could want. The only downfall about you is that you don't smoke weed. And I was like, well, this has been lovely, but I really do have to go. You know, I'm sorry. They're like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What did I say? What you said was that I wasn't good as I am, right? Like, you know, this is, for me personally, that comment upset me because that person didn't take what I had went through to quit weed and the addiction that I had to it seriously, because they smoked pot and they were fine with it. Oh, everybody should be fine with it. That shows me that they have a teeny tiny little mind that can't understand any kind of you know, experience or concept other than the one that they've went through. No, thank you. I'm good. I'm good. You know? So I feel like situations like that could happen where you're just like, and I'm sure that person's like, wow, they're a bitch. Well, whatever. Not your bitch. Okay? So that's how I feel about that. Is this what I think it might be? Yeah, there's an energy here of allowing yourself to move forward from things that are not satisfying you, basically, you know? But I feel like the hourglass is showing up because it's a matter of time before these things change. Like, I do feel like you have some ships that are coming in, some things that you are manifesting. But right now, you are in this period of just focusing on yourself, you know, working on yourself, building yourself up, and you're perfectly okay with that. I feel like you like it here. You know, like you like it here in your cozy little space, Gemini. What is this? I'm drowning. Okay, what is this? What is this? We have the Page of Wands that came out with the Two of Wands. That's 3 wands. Yeah. Look, and then we have 3 of Swords on the bottom of the deck. You know, that is the energy here that I was talking about of coming out of the cocoon, right? It's a struggle to get out of the cocoon. But I feel like you see more for yourself. You see that you could expand. You see that you could grow. You know? And the 3 wands that we have out here talks about this waiting period. It talks about maybe the uncomfortableness of the in-between. When you've manifested and you've set your intention and then it's actually arrived, there's that middle bit that can be really uncomfortable. Ugh. Okay? Oh my gosh, I'm ready to be done with this reading. My nose is like driving me nuts. It's one reason why I don't do readings where you guys can see me, because I'd be like freaking out the whole time, rubbing my face. It would be like ridiculous. But anyways, yeah, I feel like there's this uncomfortable in-between bit here, you know? I feel like you're being called to the next level, guys. The Page of Wands is my life purpose card. That is the energy of stepping out of your comfort zone. Yes, you are. You're being called to the next level of your awakening, of your spiritual journey here. And some of you are feeling like maybe you're not going to be able to control this. You know, I'm getting that very strongly. Also, for some of you guys, I'm getting the energy of somebody who's been waiting a very long time. They want to come in with communication. They're starting to get nervous, thinking maybe they've waited too long. And like maybe, you know, what I was once so sure of what I wanted to say, now I don't even know if I want to say it because I've waited so long. It's like, you know, but somebody has this conviction that's been put on them here by spirit to say something to you. This could be family, friends, it could be a lover, it could be anybody. But I feel like somebody wants to have a conversation with you. They've planned this out, they've strategized how they want to do this, but it's like they're pausing, or it feels very heavy. It's weighing very heavy. Yeah, this could definitely be a friend, or this could be somebody who just wants to share the love with you. I'm hearing that song, Where is the Love? Okay. That's what I'm getting. But for the most part, this is just an internal thing that you're going through here. I don't know, guys. If somebody wants to take some kind of inspired action, I don't know what to tell them. I don't have any advice for them. I don't know what to say other than I guess you're just going to have to do what you feel is right. All right, let's see. Advice and additional messages for Gemini gang. I can't see if you guys can see the screen still because of the sun's coming through. I'm doing this first thing in the morning, and this window actually faces where the sun rises. So in the morning, it's like we get like a beam of light that comes in here, which is great for Planty over here. You know, she's loving it. She's living her best life over here. All right, let's see. I actually moved her. She was in my plant room, and then I was like, you know what? I want a different plant. And she was just like, me. Okay. Anyways, what do we have here for Gemini gang? Advice and additional messages. We have magnetism through gratitude. Yes, Lord. Okay, card number 31. Yeah, the more things you find to be grateful for in a day, the more that the universe wants to give to you. It's like the attitude of gratitude. It's magnetic. It makes you a very attractive energy, you know, to bring more opportunity in. So find something to be grateful for in every day, in every moment, if possible. It's not, you know, saying to spiritually gaslight yourself or bypass what you're going through, right? It's just saying you can rise above it. You know, it's funny how your ancestors show up and they have these heavy messages for you to believe in yourself. But then in the bitch I'm drowning, it's like we can rise above that. It's just the waiting period, or it's the stuck energy that we're in while we're going through this huge transformation and change that makes us feel like we're uncomfortable or we're drowning. But we're actually not. So find something to be grateful for in every moment, you know. You stubbed your toe? Well, at least I got a toe. You know, there's people out here that don't have toes, or they have whole legs or feet missing, right? You burnt your chicken. Well, you know what? At least I have something to eat, even if it is burnt. You know, your hair's not laying the way that you want it to. Well, at least I have hair. Because there's some people out here that are losing their hair due to illnesses or whatever, you know? There's something to be grateful for in every moment if we can reach and we can search for it. And it's not always easy, which is why we need to try to practice mindful thinking, guys, okay? We have the self, self-worth, self-love, self-value, self-respect, card number 11, okay? Putting some respect on your name. What is this going to do? Being thankful for something in every moment. Loving yourself regardless. Finding something kind to say about yourself instead of cruel things like we talked about. How are you talking to yourself? Because you're talking to your inner child. Just look at it like that. When I'm talking to myself, I'm talking to a child. How am I talking to myself? What is this combination here going to do? Attract through your glow. It's going to raise your vibration. Card number 18. Okay, it's going to raise your vibration and you're going to start attracting in opportunities because of that. Just trust. Card number 32. I love this card because it has the little mole here, and the moles, you know, obviously they're blind. They live underground. They don't really need to see, but they can feel the warmth of the sun, and they have these really big claws to kind of help them get through the dark spaces. That's very reminiscent of that bitch I'm drowning card. Like, you're gonna make it out of this, you know, just trust. We have card number 16, opportunity. It's knocking. It's about to, guys. I feel that so strongly. I feel that so strongly. I'm sorry, y'all. We have card number 39, better than you can imagine. Something's gonna be better than you can imagine, which is why you should get out of your head and stop trying. You know, to kind of make something be what you feel like it's going to be. Let it be what it's going to be, because it's going to turn out better than even you can imagine. And some of you guys can be very stubborn. Actually, most of you guys are very stubborn. We saw that with the ancestors coming through here. Allow yourself to get out of your head. Okay? Okay, Gemini, that has been your reading. I do hope that it helps. I hope it resonates. I hope it does something. And I will definitely see you on the next one. Bye!